And the population was just going along with it. For me, what was fascinating was psychologically. Like, do you guys not know about deception? Do you not know about profit motive? Do you not know about the history of pharmaceutical drug companies in this country and what they've been able to get away with how many people they've paid?
The Tuskegee experiment.
Oh, my God.
I couldn't understand how black people or people of color were running and trusting the government after what happened to them with the Tuskegee experiment. And for people that don't know what the Tuskegee experiment was, in the early 1920s, a group of government officials came down, doctors, and they went through the black community and they said, there's a sickness in all of you guys and we're going to cure it free of charge. And they injected the black population with syphilis and left it untreated for 60 years and just watched how it ravaged the body. For 60 years, it wasn't stopped until like 1970s, late 70s, that they stopped the experiment. And I don't even know if they've paid reparations. So the government has been using all of these chemical warfare or biological warfare against its own citizens
Constantly.
for a long time.
Constantly. There's so many instances of it.
So that's why I didn't do it.
There's so many instances of it, documented instances of it. And that's the Tuskegee experience, one of the most horrific. Not just deceptive, but deceptive in the way that they are allowed to distribute information. They're allowed to not be transparent about their studies. They could have multiple studies that show a negative cause or a negative effect, and they don't have to release those studies. The fact that it went on until the 70s is just fucking terrifying. But this is just the nature of having that much secrecy and control and profit motive and being able to enforce power on people. And it's a thing that human beings have always done. Whenever human beings have gotten into a position where they're ruling over others, they are callous and evil, almost always, almost universally. There's not one instance of this amazing, benign, beautiful leader that transformed their society into this incredible utopia. It doesn't exist in history.
The resistance, the greater the curvature. Because the universe is based off of equanimity, which Einstein left out in his theory of relativity, the balancing side of the gravity was caused by electric force. Electricity is always seeking a higher pressure condition. It spins northeast, is trying to get to the center of an area, the center of a cone. But the next electric wave is coming, so it gets pushed out, and as it's pushed out, it gets to the vortices. And that's on those pieces, those vortices. Now, instead of it spinning northeasternly, centripetally, it's forced to spin centrifugally, and it spins southwesternly. And it expands itself out, it decays, it keeps decaying until you get what makes more sense. Where they invented straight lines in opening the flower, or where you actually take the individual pieces of the flower and put it together based on universal ratios. Which one do you think is how the givers of that knowledge intended for us to use it?
Well, it makes sense because you're accounting for the negative space and the straight lines are not.
And then when I hit play, it does it all by itself using physics simulations. So there's no animations at all in this model. And when I play it, this is what pops out.
Holy fuck.
Wow.
And then when I look down at the top, it makes the actual hexagon that NASA has observed on the top of Saturn without any gravity. And you'll see that you get a surface of the sphere on the inside with the heavier particles.